The Gwyn limited time banner is about to go away. Now, what will happen when Gwyn is removed from this banner? Because she will definitely not be going into the permanent banner. Will we ever be able to get Gwyn again? Well, we don't necessarily have the answer to that question, but by going from other gacha games and their usual run-of-the-mill, it's likely Gwyn will come back in another limited banner in the future, but we don't know when. It could be in a few months, it could be in a year. We don't really know when Gwyn will come back. So, if you've been unable to get Gwyn yet, or you're thinking about getting extra pulls for Gwyn, the question really comes down to, do you want to wait? And is it worth waiting? Or is it worth getting her right now before the banner is gone forever? Well, there's a couple ways we can answer that together. Firstly, what is Gwyn? In this grand scheme of things, what does she do for your account? Well, she's a void character with double impact weapons. And she's really good at clearing AoE content. Although, in terms of her actual abilities, there are choices that do that just as well. For example, Ningfei is probably the best speedrunner known to man. And, so whether or not Gwyn is really going to be good really comes down to the type of content in the game. And we can kind of have a little bit of a look about what that's going to be by going to the season tab. So the activities are going to change from 9th of October onwards. We're going to get essentially an entire month of Arc and Solar content. So Gwyn isn't really going to be of much value until later on down the line. And we don't necessarily know that the next time Void is sort of a featured element, whether or not the content will have a lot of impact shinkers or a different type of shinkers. The truth is, it's likely that Destiny Rising are trying to follow a pattern where whatever season it is, there'll be a character release that matches that season's element type and shinker type. So right now we've got Solar and Void, and obviously we just got Estella and Yumeko. Perhaps in a little bit of time, we might get a new Arc character as well. Makes sense. We know that there is one on the way that was in the beta. So to me, it's unlikely that one, Gwyn will come back for a while, but perhaps more importantly, two, she may not be that useful for a little while. However, it really does depend where you are on your account. There are 3 element types: Solar, Void, and Arc, right? And dependent on what weapon type each character has, you might be sort of locked out of content here and there, but as long as you have a character that fits Solar, Void, and Arc, for the most part, you'll be able to get through most areas of content. So, this is my thought process on this. Do I have an Arc character that could potentially take on the Arc content that will be coming in October? If I do, then I don't need to save my Lumia leaves for that character. But if I don't, then obviously it seems like the next most likely character to be released will be an Arc character for this kind of section of content. So if I don't have an Arc character right now, I should probably save my Lumia leaves for that. But you do have an Arc character, then another question is, do you want to build out Gwyn, or do you want to wait for another character down the line? If you've already put in a lot of resources, for example, you might have put in some incandescent clusters, you might have got some exotic mods that fit Gwyn's playstyle, you may even put in a lot of resources onto her exotic weapon. The next time that you'll have enough resources to do the same with another Void character might be a long time from now. In fact, it might be so long from now that Gwyn might be back by that point. We don't really know. What I'm trying to say here is, if you've already built up Gwyn a lot and spent a lot of resources on Gwyn, my honest thoughts are, you should probably try to push out the talent tree as much as you can. You've already got an Arc character, a Solar character, and a Void character that you can use in endgame content. then I don't see why going for another one of these characters down the line would be more valuable to you if you've already built up Gwyn, right? If you've already put a lot of resources in Gwyn. The alternative to not trying to pull for another Gwyn would be getting the next character that's released, and then you're going to have to build up the resources to upgrade them. You know, it's going to come down to your personal situation, right? Like for me, for example, I got Ningfei. He's going to be my sort of endgame character. I've got Gwyn. That's my endgame Void character. I've got Estella. You know, there may be some situations where I'm a bit gatekept in terms of impact shinkers and stuff, but I don't see myself really feeling like let me show you what I mean. I could pretty much guarantee myself another Gwyn talent tree pool, or guarantee myself in the next character. Me personally, seeing the way the things are going, and we've got a whole extra month of Void, essentially. Well, a couple weeks, I should say. And then we've got like these two splits here with Arc and Solar, and then Void will come back again. I'm pretty confident that I'm going to be using Gwyn a lot because I've already built her out anyway. So for me, yes, it makes sense. I'm going to pull for Gwyn one more time to get her talent tree unlocked. It might be a different story, and you've got to ask yourself, do I need another Gwyn pull, or do I need the next arc character that comes down the line? Well, for me, we're going for Gwyn. So here we go. To start off with, we're going to do 10 draws at once because no way. I thought we were going to get her straight away. You know, the chance of her coming straight away pretty low. Nala, okay. And then once the chance goes up a little bit, we'll do it one by one. Because if I can get Gwyn with less than 60 pulls, then that would be great. Though it's unlikely. Let's see what we get here. Anything? No. More bright dust. Okay. Hopefully this has kind of given you an idea to think about how or what to go for. You could choose between Gwyn and the next character. What is really going to be of the most benefit to you? And I think for me, fully upgrading another character might be... excited then. Gonna be a little bit harder. Like, I've already built out Gwyn. I know that she'll be of value to me for the lifetime of my account. Right? Hence, you know, how long do you want to play this game for? Are you gonna be playing for a long time? That's the case, then you might want to try and get the most you can out of a character like Gwyn. Hopefully that'll make sense. Now let's focus on these pulls and see. Hopefully we won't have to wait too long. But most likely we will. Okay, another finale. Oh, just one way. Speaking of which, I do think some of these other characters will end up having their chance in the meta as well. You know, there are characters, especially arc characters, that deserve some attention. I think Atul and Zhuan have a good chance to be pretty meta. And we're already building out a lot of duplicate roles for them already. Let's see what our chances here. 1.8%. Okay, we'll do another 10. And then we'll probably start doing it one by one. Because, like I say, the chance goes up one after another. And I don't want to waste draws if I can. Now, if there's a chance that I could also get the other character, then I'll take it. But there's not a chance that if I don't go for Gwyn now, the extra talent tree, I can't later on try to go for both. Now I can. You know, although chances of it might be somewhat unlikely. And there's that one way again. Okay, well, we're getting the full one way tree. I wonder if the next character will release alongside another sort of... Oh. Wow. There we go. So, now I'm in a very interesting situation. I don't have enough pulls to go for Gwyn again, really. So I'm actually, like, this is the best kind of result. I've ended up going, I've got the resources to get one Gwyn pull. I got it. And now I can save the rest of the resources for the next limited banner. If I were to have decided not to do this, then I would have guaranteed myself not to get Gwyn, or at least for many months down the line when she may potentially come back. Now that I've got her, I also have a chance to get the next character as well. So that actually turned out quite well in the end. Void Dance deals 50% more melee damage. So I'm obviously going to stop there. Oh, well, oh, they changed it. I thought it was 2 per thing here. That's pretty good. But yeah, I'm going to stop there. I'm going to save my resources for the next limited banner now. And I feel quite happy that I've done that because it's quite interesting, actually. Because the way the odds go, you're guaranteed it after 60 pulls, but you're also likely to get it somewhere before 60 pulls because after each pull, the drop goes up. The drop rate goes up. So some thoughts to have about pulling for Gwyn before the time runs out. Try and make your decision quick because you don't have long left. And think about whether or not what's going to be more beneficial for your account. And make a decision based on logic and not just on hoping for the best because then you're going to regret it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you all in the comments. Cheerio.